Right, I'm going to start this YouTube thing with a case study from a flat that I bought recently. It's a leasehold, as most flats in the UK are. The lease had fallen below 80 years. I'm adding value to it by extending the lease. Process of talking to an independent estate agent and actually finding the estate agent in the first place is pretty simple. Straight onto Google, search local estate agents in my area. So in my case, it was Southampton. Go through the list, go right the way through. The smaller estate agents will be a little bit lower down the list. Jot all the names down and all the numbers down, put it into an Excel sheet, maybe put it into your CRM system, get their name, number, their office location, and then just ring through. I'm not saying don't ring the larger, more corporate agents, but I am saying start with the smaller independent guys for a number of reasons. You can speak directly to decision makers there. Rarely will you find someone that's opened up an estate agency with very little to no experience. They're more likely to have more conversations about creative ways of purchasing, and you can build relationships directly with these people a lot quicker. Find 2, 3, maybe 4 agents that you think understand what you're looking for and that are prepared to meet you either at the office or potentially on a property. I went with one particular agent for a couple of reasons. First being, we managed to build a relationship quite quickly over the phone. After we met, we got on really well. I could tell that he was experienced and he knew what he was talking about. He actually invested in property himself and had set up a estate agent / letting agent alongside his portfolio building, so that any deals that came in that he couldn't fund himself, he could then pass on to others and still make a fee off it. The property ticks a lot of boxes. It was a lot cheaper than a flat that's got a fully extended lease or a lease that's over 80 years or especially over 90 or 100 years. He forwarded me onto a property in an area that I have invested in before. It needed a refurbishment and the vendor was in a situation where they needed cash quickly because they wanted to go travelling. So there's huge value to be added on multiple fronts. The estate agent actually let me talk to the vendor directly. Talking directly to a vendor also means that you can recommend them solicitors. I work with a small pool of solicitors that I trust and I know that can get deals done quickly and safely. I'm confident in them. You should always be working with more than one solicitor, not necessarily because they're in different locations. More often than not, each one will have a specialism. For example, I use one solicitor because she's super quick at the conveyancing process, and I use another solicitor as she's a specialist in lease extensions. Some solicitors actually offer a fast-track process to get the conveyancing done a lot speedier, and they actually prioritise you over other clients because you pay a little bit more money. And also, just being able to recommend the vendor a solicitor makes you look a bit more professional and makes you look like you've been involved in property or at least sold a couple of properties, bought a couple of properties before. Otherwise, why would you be able to have worked with 2, 3, maybe 4 solicitors previously? One thing I will say though, it's very important to not force them to use your solicitor. They might have used someone before that they like. He did have to purchase this property, so if he wanted to go back to the solicitor that he used for the purchase, then so be it. No one's getting any kickbacks from solicitors, so there's no financial gain from you, it's just the speed. And I guess there is financial gain in the speed, but it's the quickness of the purchase that you're looking for. So don't force them to use your solicitor, just tell them all the advantages and benefits of why they should. Negotiation through an estate agent can be difficult. You don't really know if they're presenting your offer in the way that you presented it to the agent. You don't know if the agent are actually saying it the right way or saying it the way you want. Being able to speak directly to the vendor meant I could negotiate directly with him. So explaining what needs to be done financially and then adding that to the negotiation and saying, okay, you've got it up for this, but did you realise that it's going to cost X, Y, and Z to get it to a lettable standard. There is an argument that a huge part of the estate agent's job is to be involved fully in the negotiation process and actually do the negotiation on behalf of the vendor, and I completely recognise that. On this occasion though, he was included in emails, notified after me and the vendor finished on a phone call, and was kept up to date throughout the whole thing. It just cut out that middleman and enabled us to speed things up a lot more. I hope you've taken something away from this. In the next video, I'll carry on with this particular case study, slightly more complicated than a simple freehold purchase because it is a leasehold, but I'll make sure to go through the general conveyancing process with the lease extension added on top. And I'll see you in the next video.